Well, they love their football in the East Bay, and the NFL is once again returned to Oakland, California. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Steelers of Oakland.
First quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on, set, hut.
A carry here for Trevion Henderson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a victory here in Vegas would give them a sweep of the season series. Second and 9.
52 blaster. Set, hut. 45, white. Striker, 3-3. 43 rail.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Okay,
and that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Yellow, 22. Set, hut.
They run once more with Henderson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Yellow, red, cycle.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Inside the 10.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point, because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Fly through. Yellow, zoom. Black shot. Green jack. Blaster, stick. Clawed red.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
That flag, that'll push him back 5.
Grill green. Down. White, white. Black ultra. Cut.
They'll set up to throw.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, this defense for the Browns very strong in that victory a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Now a first carry here for the running back. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Trap 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
Now back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, Charles, it's early, but that's a key 3rd down conversion. Remember, they forced the turnover on the opening drive. Now they're in a position where they look like they'll at least get 3 out of this.
A great example of complementary football if they're able to cash this in, isn't it, partner? Because defense does this job, takes it away, turns over the offense. Here's pick up a nice first down there.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
21 at the 35-yard line. 19 Lions. Mustang 19.
They're going to look to throw.
He's got this to Williams, complete.
Touchdown!
Jamison Williams
With touchdown number 7 on the year.
and the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. But the product goes, first do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Steeler defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
6, yellow, 22.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Browns 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, look and repeat that. There he goes, right side. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The Browns drive about to get started. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
2nd and 10.
Black shot. Ready. Black 40. Cut.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. You look at this Steeler defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Loose inside the 30. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not as...
And he lost the football, and I think the Browns got it. They did. Partner on my spot.
sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught at the 8. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So they're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Steelers 1st down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run,
as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And a rout is on here in this 1st half.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, They threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That's Black Ultra. Ready?
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And that's caught inside the 35. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
On the double. Set, hut. Set.
From the gun again to Henderson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Watch out now.
Well, looks like they'll move things around here.
Ready.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Here we go. Here we go. Black, 95.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Let's go. 18, 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Warriors, 70.
Second and 11. That's taken in by Watson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Back to throw here. Campbell making the catch. Will go down as a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
go now. 60.
Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They got 29 yards that time.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Ready up. Ready. Panther and left. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. 19 Lion. Ready.
They'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 4. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jamison Williams.
Career touchdown number 136, tying it with Marshall Faulk for 7th on the all-time list.
And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead. The York on now for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Steelers 42, round 7. Cade York to kick off.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Ready. Slide through. Down. Yellow, 22. Red, cycle. Hut.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw.
They'll find Henderson out of the backfield here.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2.
Let's go now.
Up the middle, it's Henderson.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Come on, set. Red, 38. White. Set, cut.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Here we go. 10, smash, red. Rail, yellow. Hut.
They'll look to throw here.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And the Browns are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Set, ready, 52.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Set.
Got a man and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Browns.
Harold Fannin from a yard out. And the Browns are able to at least get one score back.
The kicker on for the
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm.
And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 43 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They'll look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Extra point by York is up and good.
And a route is on here in this first half.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Come on, set. 60 red. 60 red. Claws red. Set, huh?
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it.
Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Hurt! Cougar 19! Go!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's airing it out for Williams. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Still going. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here we go. Red, 38. Yellow, blue. Set.
They'll set up a throw.
And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
10 black. Ready.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And now here's another interception.
And the Steelers are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Come on, set. Set 19 line, 18, pioneer. 18, run, Panther 11, Dragon 60.
And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Looking to put a drive together.
Cut 19, 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. From the 41, here's a second down and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1.
That's a gain of 3. It's third and 1.
19 tight, 19 tight, trap 60, trap 60.
They'll look to throw for it on third and 1. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up fourth down.
No gain on the play. It's fourth down.
They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
Ready, break. Switch. Set. Ready. Opposite. Green. Blue.
On first down, it's Henderson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Down. Black. 10 black. 10 cycle. White. White. Green jack. Set.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are able to claw one back. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on fourth down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive.
And that's caught inside the 35. And touchdown. A
Big play there. 65 yards. And the Steelers extend their lead yet again. York now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Steelers 56, Browns 20. Cade York to kick off.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Claws red. Ready?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go, set. 50, green. White.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Porter. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And that's complete. It's Sims. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Or maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
45, white, fury, yellow. Set.
On play action, they'll throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice scan from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Claws, 10, 33, yellow. Ready?
Henderson running straight ahead. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Green Jack. Let's go now. Black, 95. Ready.
They'll go again with Henderson.
No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Here we go. Red, 38. Red, cycle. Steel, black. Set.
He'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 23.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
At the 35-yard line.
Check smash. Check smash. Hurry, 70.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Steelers have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Browns 20. Gabe York to kick off.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Browns drive about to get started.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Down. Ready.
Straight ahead, Henderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Blaster, 6. Set, ready. Yellow, 22. Blue, striker. Green, jack. 5.
He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jamison Williams, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Steelers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Red, 38. 22 needle. Yellow, zoom.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
Up the middle, here's Henderson. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll go. It's Henderson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Gain of 6. That's good for a Browns 1st down. It's a gain of 6. And the Browns 1st down.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Smith, red. Here we go. Set. 10, black. Hey, blue. Ready.
Once again, it's Henderson. Down at the 35. It'll be second down.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
33, yellow. Go red. Set cut.
Again, it's Henderson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
On the ready.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Ready.
Now they'll
ready.
audible to something else.
60 red. 60 red. Chop. Cut.
On third down, here's Henderson.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
88 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's how you convert on third down. Not only do they pick up the first, but they got a lot of extra yardage with it.
And I saw a defense that was absolutely out of sync. They didn't expect that play call at all. And it allowed the offense to actually get great blocking angles against them and allowed the back to just rumble and rumble and rumble. And as you said, tacked on big yardage at the end.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Okay, right.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Set. Ready. Set.
Now they'll switch it up here and lift a throw. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Come on. Set. Yellow. 40. Red. Cycle. Ready. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Touchdown!
Harold Fannin
With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Mustang 19. Go, Chase, Steve. 19 tight, 19 tight.
2nd and 10.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43.
It's 4th down.
again, he'll drop to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40.
They'll look to throw again. Campbell making the catch. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 36-yard line.
Back to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
First down and goal to go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
The kick is good.
Extra point by York is up and good.
77.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
32. Go red. Red, cycle. Hut.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope.
He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that when he's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Ready.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Zoom black. Green jet 33. Yellow. Drill green. Blaster 6. Set. Go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Center pirate. Let's go. Street. Cougar 19. Mustang 19. Ready.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
Ready. 18 Cardinal. Buffalo 18. Hurt.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Campbell. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. They'll drop to throw. And he is caught. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for a Steelers first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown. And the blowout continues. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Up the middle here, it's Lewis. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the fourth quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Now a 2nd and 10.
Set punt. 10 black. Edo blue. Fury, yellow. Hey, green. Slice blue. Set, go.
Back to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing till the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 45, ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Porter. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Okay, break. Black shot. Ready. Ready.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Set.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Steelers, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Cleveland,
what defines my name? What defines my name?